Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome. This is the GBN Television News for Thursday, November 4th, 2021. In the headlines, COVID-19 regulations change, sees curfew shifted from 9 p.m. to midnight. The Royal Grenada Police Force awards local heroes. Senator Andre Lewis wants a 10 to 15% cut in cost to reduce customers' electricity bill. NDC's new political leader, Deacon Mitchell, says he does not support two public services. Coming up in Around the Globe, the medical fraternity in Guyana is shocked at the killing of a well-known doctor. Internationally, Nepal struggles to rebuild after natural disasters triggered by climate change. And coming up in sports, defending champions West Indies eliminated from T20 World Cup after Sri Lanka defeat today. While the under-20 men's football team prepares to take center stage this weekend. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories right after this.
Are you a small business and would like your business to grow? Do you have an event, products or services that people should know about? Be wise. Advertise. Book your spot on GBN Shopping Guide. Be part of Grenada's biggest advertising medium, the Grenada Broadcasting Network. Call our sales department now on 440-2446 or 440-3033 or GBN plus the number sign. Email us at sales@gbn.gd. Special conditions apply.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. Grenadians and businesses have been given further ease and restrictions as amendments were made to the emergency powers regulations. Curfew hours have been adjusted to a later time and will come into effect on Friday, with the curfew hours, which are currently from 9 p.m. to 4 a.m., moving to 12 midnight to 4 a.m. The restriction of movement amendment, which confines citizens to their place of residence, inclusive of their yard space, was the only substantive change to the regulation announced today. In other news, on Thursday, Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin presented medals to 16 police officers and 4 civilians for their acts of heroism. Medals were presented in 2 categories, life-saving and community service. Chrislina John shares with us who the heroes are.
Just over 2 years ago, on September 20th, 2019, Adriel Pursue from Belmont, Carriacou, Jake Edmund and Teron Hazel, a fisherman from the Sister Isle of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, and 2 police officers, DC Kevin Wickham and Harris Collier, performed what was deemed an act of heroism. The young men risked their lives, saving that of 18 passengers from a number 2 commuter bus that had plunged into the sea on the Carnage St. George. Unfortunately, 1 person perished. The young men on the Sister Isle were presented with their civilian medal on Wednesday by Commissioner Edwin Martin. On Thursday, the remaining 16 were awarded by the top cop at a special ceremony at Fort George. Commissioner Martin says when ordinary citizens perform acts that contribute to saving lives, it earns respect, appreciation, and admiration.
I am confident that your actions were never about being honored, but rather about doing the right and honorable thing when the life of another is in imminent danger. This is refreshing when the spontaneous action of many is to use the devices to record and post the incident rather than offer help. Your actions remind me of a quote by Martin Luther King, and I quote, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?"
Mr. Frederick Braffis has no medical experience but performed CPR on the day based on what he learned from watching various shows on television, was also awarded. The civilian medal was also presented to Rian Barry for rescuing a 92-year-old woman from her burning house in Duquesne, St. Mark last month.
The greatest high you can get in life is by helping someone. And Mr. Rian Barry is no exception. He displayed bravery and selflessness by risking his life to save the life of Miss George. A heroic deed that will resonate on the minds of all who witness or have knowledge of this relentless pursuit in saving the life of Lewis George, a hero in his own right.
Medals of honor were also bestowed on officers attached to the Grenada Coast Guard for their valiant capture of 5 alleged Tobagonian robbers following the robbery at the Grenada Cooperative Bank branch in Carriacou last month. The Police High Command says the hybrid unit was established on the Sister Isle following the 2019 robbery at the Grenada Union of Teachers Credit Union branch in Carriacou to deter transnational and organized crimes and ensure peace and security on the island. A security gap was still identified.
APF is pleased that not only did this unit effectively fulfill its intended purpose, but that in doing so, it also solved the crime which led to its creation. As you are aware, the subsequent investigations which followed confirmed that one of the individuals who was caught this time around was involved in the 2019 robbery of the credit union. Having post-mortemed the circumstances of the recent incident, we have identified a security gap. And therefore, we will be moving to implement a rapid response unit for the Christmas season on the Sister Isles.
He commended the officers involved in the apprehension of the robbers. Christina John, GBN News.
Government is once more committing to address the issue of high electricity bills. Labour Senator Andre Lewis felt compelled to seek assistance for the people he represents by adding his voice to the issue that directly touches their pockets. Cherian Blackman-Stephen has that story.
Labour representative in the Senate, Andre Lewis, has made a bold call on the government to assist the Grenadian people struggling through these challenging times by cutting the cost of electricity as promised.
That recognizing that whether it is imported or local, there's absolutely no doubt that we have seen a significant increase in the cost of living. We are proposing that one of the ways that can help mitigate that is that now that Grenlec has been owned by us locally, that there be a 10 to 15% reduction in the cost of electricity to householders as a means of helping to mitigate the rising cost of living.
Consumers have been clamoring about the increase in their monthly bills, and this was responded to by Finance Minister Gregory Bowen during last week's post-cabinet briefing. He told the media that government is considering alternatives to providing relief to Grenadians that he hopes will be reflected on their electricity bills.
It has to be otherwise. It has to be taxation coming from some other place that we have to take to say, well, Grenlec, you charge a smaller price. What is that smaller price? How much will we be giving up? We will be giving up, let's say, $10 million. And so some other tax type must move to help give that reduction in price of electricity.
Infrastructure Minister Nolan Cox, during Thursday's sitting of the Senate, in response to Lewis's appeal, said that government has given its commitment to address the issue.
Those measures are being worked out currently to see what efforts that government can further bring whatever further relief, additionally to what is being spent right now through the stimulus support, which is extensive in millions of dollars that is being provided to persons currently. And so we hear the call and we are going to respond. As regards to our commitment in bringing the tariffs for electricity in Grenada down, that is something that we are committed to, and we are going to get that done. We have and always indicated that it is not going to happen overnight. It will take some time.
Cherry and Blackburn Stephen, GBN News.
Can pensions be used to create wealth? Well, financial planners believe this is a viable option as nations look for a way to empower their people economically. In Grenada, the sustainability of pension systems has come under scrutiny amid a long-running battle between government and public officers. GBN's Gerard Joseph captured the thoughts of the newly elected political leader of the National Democratic Congress, Deacon Mitchell, on the issue.
Political leader of the NDC, Deacon Mitchell, says if a society is built upon an economic system that does not support retirement, then that society has predestined its people to poverty at a time when they are most vulnerable. Mitchell says this not only concerns the public service, but the entire country.
We as a nation need to devise ways to ensure that collectively we have a social security system that may involve a mix of a number of things: NIS, government pensions, private pensions, insurance funds, to ensure that our citizens, particularly those who have worked, are in a position to maintain the lifestyle that they have been accustomed to as a result of working.
In July, just a day away from a historic court hearing on pension restoration, hindered by the 1983 Pension Disqualification Act, a march and rally was held to highlight the 38-year-old struggle for the 1958 pension. An end-of-year judgment is now expected by the lawyers representing the public sector unions. NDC's political leader believes in a holistic and systematic review of Grenada's social security and pension systems, while factoring in how pension funds can be used to create wealth.
I've given this example repeatedly. A small European nation called Holland, of which I am now going to be the former honorary consul for Grenada. Their pension funds are used, and the funds are invested wisely in the things that help grow the economy and in the things that help create employment so that more persons can contribute towards those pension funds. We have to ask ourselves questions like, how is the National Insurance Scheme funds invested? Where are they invested?
Noting that since the funds that fuel the National Insurance Scheme come from employment, Mitchell says there should be a clear mandate of reinvesting those pension funds into sectors or entities that create more employment.
Because that is how we will create more revenue to sustain those pension funds. And if we don't do that in a systematic and deliberate manner, we will confine our senior citizens after they've worked so hard to poverty.
The new party leader, however, impresses that NDC has no intention to lie or fool Grenadians and will pursue alternatives if necessary.
The National Democratic Congress will not make promises that it cannot keep. We are not going to stand and say to public servants we will automatically reinstate pension if we do not genuinely believe, based on advice, based on the numbers, that it is sustainable.
Government has stated that it will await the outcome of the court matter and will be guided accordingly. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Meanwhile, the newly elected political leader of the NDC, Deacon Mitchell, is against what some have labeled as a parallel public service. This has been a contentious issue for public sector unions amid concern that workers are placed on contract and are not entitled to benefits that are offered to mainstream public officers. Here's Gerard Joseph once again with that report.
There should be one public service. There should not be a parallel public service running alongside the public service.
This is the response from the newly elected political leader of the NDC, Deacon Mitchell, on his executive and party stance on contract work within the public service.
You cannot tell me that you care about the persons who you work with if you put them in a position where they are unable to get a mortgage, they are unable to buy a car because you are giving them deliberately 6-month and 12-month contracts because you do not wish to pay them any benefits, because you do not wish to pay them any pensions.
The Grenada Trade Union Council and the public sector unions have been fighting for the regularization of teachers and end to contract work among public sector workers. The Public Workers Union even now is continuing the battle for the inclusion of contract workers on the union's bargaining unit to receive the 4% increase in salaries. NDC's leader vehemently condemns such actions, which he believes are not in the best interest of citizens and the country.
That is poverty. That is confining you to a life of poverty. Second, a state will degenerate and will become a failed state if the government is unable to deliver the services that it is expected to deliver to its citizens. And therefore, you must have a public service that is motivated, trained, and resourced to do its job as a public service. If you systematically go about destroying the public service, you are systematically going about destroying your nation. That's the reality.
Mitchell, who was elected during Sunday's convention, says the stance taken will be the same if NDC is elected into office.
And so, there cannot be two public services operating. One on quote-unquote contract and another public service. There could only be one public service. And I think in my response you will get what my answer is. That is something that will end once National Democratic Congress forms an institution.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
You're tuned into GBN's primetime news. Still to come, government minister pleads with Grenadians to take the COVID-19 vaccine. Stay with us.
Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first. Save energy, save a time, we choose your wattage and we choose your time. When you use appliances, we show you buy energy efficient every time. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first. Spare your pocket, spare the earth, always act when let you come first.
There's a reason we have been here to serve you for the past 40 years. A reason we have continued to grow. A reason we have continued to celebrate. That reason is you. We have been here to help you plan for your future and here to help you celebrate your achievements. We continue to be here, even when the future seems unclear. Because one thing is certain, you're the reason we care.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact a Riser Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank. Republic Bank remains committed to providing all its valued customers with high quality and personalized service in a safe and comfortable environment. In order to maintain COVID-19 protocols while serving you, it has become necessary to arrange an appointment with your relationship officer or the customer service representative at your branch for the following products and services: loans, overdrafts, credit cards, new accounts to include savings, checking, certificate of deposit, and foreign currency, reactivation of dormant accounts, and private banking for existing customers only. You may also log on to our website, complete the application form for the service required, and submit via email to your specific branch. Requests for appointment can also be emailed to customerservice@republicgrenada.com or via private message on our Facebook page. For private banking service, kindly contact your specific branch via telephone. We look forward to welcoming you.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Two senators used the upper house to call for students to return to the classroom as the Senate approved the extension of Grenada's state of emergency. Minister of State with responsibility for the National Disaster Management Agency, Winston Garraway, cites stress and suicide as part of his reason for making the call. Cherian Blackman-Stephen has the details.
Minister of State with responsibility for the National Disaster Management Agency, Winston Garraway, is appealing to the Grenadian people to take the COVID-19 vaccine, even if it is only in the interest of school students. The nation's children have been engaged in online classes over the past 8 weeks of the school term due to the increase of COVID-19. A 2-week phased approach commenced on Monday for students who were not engaged in online learning, while the other students continued their education online. In his contribution to the Senate on Thursday, Garraway said that he believes the students need to return to the classrooms as online learning is a bit stressful for many students.
It has been a very challenging period for our students. And if it means a greater uptake in vaccination will ease this challenge, I want to call on one and all in the country. Let's do it for them. Let's do it for them so they can go back into the classroom to the face-to-face learning.
Garraway spoke to the issue of suicide among students.
You've had a couple of suicides from top students. And you question, is it just a challenge of the virtual classes and the pressures that they have to go through? The jury is still out on it. I have some information on one of the cases.
Opposition Senator Tessa Alexander Sincere also supported the call for students to return to the classroom.
Even if the teachers are making the call and encouraging fellow students to encourage their peers to engage, in some cases it's just not possible. There is a group chat that I'm in, and a parent was saying, well, I have one device and I go to work with my device, so the student cannot engage. So again, Mr. President, I am asking for serious consideration to be given to returning to face-to-face.
The senators were debating on the state of emergency extension. The extension was already approved in the lower house on Tuesday, and if passed in the Senate, May 1st, 2022 will be the new date for the state of emergency for Grenada to end. November 20th is the present deadline under the resolution passed on May 21st. Government said the extension is pivotal to ensuring citizens are protected against COVID-19. Cherry and Blackman Stephen, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has reiterated his call for leaders to be more vocal in encouraging Grenadians to get vaccinated and protect themselves against COVID-19. Noting that there continues to be a significant level of vaccine hesitancy, Prime Minister Mitchell said, unfortunately, a lot of people are guided by misinformation. This week, the Prime Minister continued his series of engagements with Grenadians employed in the debushing program, commending those who have already been vaccinated and encouraging those who have not. Dr. Mitchell believes vaccination provides the best option for the country to return to a normal life as normal as possible. Discussions are ongoing about whether school-aged children in Grenada should get vaccinated. The Ministry of Education marshaled a phased reopening of schools for face-to-face learning on Monday, but says a full-scale return must involve a discussion about vaccinations. Not only is Grenada struggling with the decision. In tonight's GBN Health, we take a look at initial approaches in the United States.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Brentwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
7-year-old Gael Correas on Wednesday became one of the first kids under age 11 to be vaccinated against COVID-19 as the U.S. began inoculating children aged 5 to 11 one day after the CDC recommended the Pfizer-BioNTech shot for broad use in that group, opening up eligibility to some 28 million kids. It's a third of the strength of the dose given to adolescents and adults and offers protection from the highly contagious Delta variant. For many, it couldn't come soon enough. Since the start of the pandemic, nearly 2 million kids in the U.S. under age 12 have been diagnosed with COVID, says pediatric emergency doctor Matthew Harris.
8,400 of them have been hospitalized. So there's an urgent need for vaccination.
The Pfizer vaccine is shown to be more than 90% effective at preventing symptomatic infection in children, bringing with it the hope of fewer quarantines or school closures and more normal activities and freedoms.
I think I'll feel maybe stronger now that I have the vaccine, and maybe I get to do more things.
That's a relief for New Jersey mom Jojo Doble, whose 2 young children have not seen their grandfather, who is immunocompromised, for 2 years.
It'll make life that much easier to be able to take the kids places, to not feel so worried about, do we have a mask, do we not have a mask? Can we be around these friends and their kids? Can we be around my parents? Can we be around our neighbors? And not all have to stand outside around a fire pit or with, several layers on now that it's getting cold.
Still, it remains unclear how many parents will jump at the chance. Even many who have been vaccinated themselves are more divided over whether to vaccinate their own younger children, given that severe COVID is much less common for them. Dr. Harris empathizes, but calls Pfizer's research impressive.
I am a parent of school-age children, of 7-year-old twins, and I recognize that this is a difficult choice for parents to make. But for me, the calculus is simple. This is the easiest way I can keep my kids safe.
California has mandated school-age children get vaccinated once their age group is eligible, a measure being considered in New York and Washington State.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Tonight's submission features an interestingly shaped yam. Yams are a type of tuber vegetable that originated in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean. They have a distinct brown bark-like exterior, and the flesh can be white, yellow, purple, or pink depending on the maturity of the yam. These tubers are highly nutritious, versatile, and may benefit your health in many ways. Our citizen journalist says we can see all sorts of human shapes in nature, and this yam resembles parts of the human body. Can you guess which parts of the body it depicts? Share your thoughts with us on our social media platforms. We thank our eyesore reporter for this captivating submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
And still to come, Grenada Cooperative Bank's Investment Migration Roundtable Conference seeks to keep Grenada's CBI program gold standard. This is Primetime News.
Welcome to Nurses Care, a new home healthcare company on Ireland, changing the way you receive healthcare. From registered nurses and aides to medical doctors and qualified physicians, we offer a wide range of healthcare services, from monitoring chronic conditions and medications to elderly care, pediatric care, and maternity nurses, to even housekeeping and case management. We offer 24/7 in-house healthcare services. So contact us today for your in-house consultation at 439-3928.
Immerse yourself in the pure and simple fragrances celebrating the best of nature, delicate flowers, the great outdoors, and the open ocean with Beep Air Freshener. Calming vanilla, berry burst, captivating orchid, cotton flower, ocean spray, and water lily make up the Beep Pure and Simple fragrance collection, capturing the purity and simplicity of nature that you can enjoy from the comfort of your home. Beep, for a happy, healthy home.
Introducing YouTube and TikTok to the Digicel Prime Bundle. Now get 1 GB daily to enjoy more YouTube. Plus 1 GB daily to like more TikTok videos. It's simply more entertainment bundled together. Get a 7-day bundle for $35 in My Digicel. More apps, more data, more fun. Digicel, better together.
Effective Monday, November 1st, the St. George's branch of CGI, Consumers Guarantee Insurance Company Limited, will be moving to its new location at Steele's Commercial Complex, Grandance, St. George's. Our telephone and fax numbers will remain the same, 440-0217 and 440-6447. We apologize for any inconvenience caused by this relocation, and we look forward to serving you.
Introducing Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons. Color by Sissons. Sissons.
Have at least a 3-month supply of prescribed medications on hand in the event of an emergency or disaster. Keep medications in a sealed, labeled container that you can carry with you at a moment's notice if you need to evacuate. A message from the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council in collaboration with the Ministry of Health with support from the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Government has welcomed the second round table on investment immigration, which in its first year positively impacts and improves Grenada's citizenship by investment program. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver Joseph were among some of the attendees of the Grenada Cooperative Bank hosted event. Gerard Joseph has more.
Assisting Grenada's CBI program to maintain its gold standard while directly attracting investments are some of the benefits, Foreign Affairs Minister Oliver Joseph notes, have been derived from the Grenada Cooperative Bank's Investment Migration Roundtable Conference. Minister Joseph says despite COVID-19, an increase in approved applications was witnessed and believes it is a testimony to the recommendations made in 2020.
I think Dr. Grenada has presented some things for consideration, some issues, some things that we need to take on board in terms of letting the people see the benefit of the CBI. Some people are not satisfied that the Grenadian public is sufficiently seeing the benefit. So, for example, she recommend if you have, for example, national health insurance, and you said, well, this has come about because the funding from CBI has contributed. You know, I think the ideas that she come up with, as the day progresses, we will get some more ideas and that we can consider in terms of letting the people of Grenada feel the effects of the CBI.
Incoming Managing Director of the Grenada Cooperative Bank, Larry Lawrence, says the intention of the Roundtable Conference is to bring the investors, marketing agents, the CBI committee, and the financial institutions together.
And if you consider CBI, it certainly appears, and the Prime Minister spoke to it, it is economically resilient, you know, because in spite of that there's a pandemic, it got pandemic-proof, so to speak, you know, so clearly being here, it is the right thing to do, and the expectation is that we'll do it next year again, right? Because certainly in terms of the kickoff, you know, clearly you see, you know, spirited speakers, they're very informative, you know, Dr. Carrie Grenade was extremely informative, very impactful, you know.
Deputy Chairman of the CBI program, Ronald Theodore, recognizing the significance of such a session, says sustainability and development of the program are critical.
At the end of the day, we want to learn as much from the various stakeholders so that we can continue to make changes to the program, right? The program is not cast in stone, right? It was implemented, and the end of the day is to listen to the persons who are the key stakeholders, and they are the ones who make the program work. So by listening to them, we want to have the ability to make changes so that we can have a program that is even stronger than what it is at the moment today.
Theodore says the hope following the roundtable is that an agenda and action items will be gathered to further improve the CBI program. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information has informed the general public that the deadline for payments for Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC, the May-June 2022 examinations has been extended. That extension goes until next week, Wednesday, and parents or students are asked to take note. Thank you, Christelina. Stay with us. The weather report and forecast is up next, followed by sports and around the globe.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom.
For that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
Are
you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Fallage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Let's take a look at tonight's weather report and forecast. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy with a few light to moderate isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius. Winds will be east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate with waves 2 to 4 feet in open waters. Tides will be low at 9:15 p.m. On Friday, sunrise will be 1 minute after 6 a.m. and sunset 5:42 p.m. Partly cloudy, becoming cloudy at times with a few light to moderate showers. Heading into the weekend, sunrise on Saturday will be at 6:02 a.m., sunset 5:41 p.m. Partly cloudy conditions are expected, becoming fair at times with a few brief isolated showers. And on Sunday, sunrise 6:02 a.m., sunset 5:41 p.m. Partly cloudy conditions are expected with a few brief isolated daytime showers. And that's it for tonight's weather report and forecast. Stay tuned. Sports is next. Good evening, sporting fans. This evening we bowl off with cricket and, of course, not good news for West Indies fans, as the defending champions have been knocked out of the Men's T20 World Cup following a 20-run defeat by already eliminated Sri Lanka in Abu Dhabi. Chasing 190 to win, the West Indies finished on 169 for 8, with Shimron Hetmeyer top scoring with 81 not out and Nicholas Pooran 46, the only batsman to reach double figures. The regional squad never really found their footing, with opening batsman Chris Gale going with 1 run on the board and Evan Lewis following 9 runs later. 3 Sri Lankan bowlers took 2 wickets apiece. Earlier in the match, Sri Lanka made 189 for 3, with Charith Asalanka making 68 from 41 balls and Pathum Nisanaka 51, with Andre Russell picking up 2 wickets and Dwayne Bravo picking up only 1. With the Windies and Sri Lanka out of the running, that leaves England, Australia and South Africa fighting to progress from Group 1. Meanwhile, Cricket West Indies confirmed that the regional men's team will play 3 T20 internationals and 3 ODIs against Pakistan at the National Stadium in Karachi from December 13th to the 22nd. The ODI series will be West Indies' 4th series of 12 in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup Super League, in which the top 7 teams can secure automatic qualification for the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 in India. West Indies currently currently lie in 8th place out of 13 teams and have the opportunity to move above Pakistan into 7th position. Meanwhile, the West Indies women's team is presently in Karachi, Pakistan, for 3 ODIs as part of their final preparations for the upcoming Women's Cricket World Cup qualifiers. Still in cricket, Rohit Sharma and Rahul made rapid half-centuries as India belatedly got their T20 World Cup campaign up and running with a 66-run defeat over Afghanistan. Back-to-back hammerings at the hands of fierce rivals Pakistan and New Zealand left India's hopes of qualifying for the semi-finals hanging by a thread. The pre-tournament favourites needed an emphatic win over Afghanistan to keep themselves in contention, and they finally delivered on a good wicket on Wednesday. Let's take a look back at India's sensational victory.
Bang! 6! KL Rahul.
Didn't have to move again in that slot, trying to go further up towards KL Rahul there. With power play and the restrictions, you need to be very careful where you're trying to pitch the ball and what you're trying to do.
The single, comfortable. Shot. Beautifully played. Caressed for 4, 7 without loss.
Oh, got hit. Yeah, that's exactly what you call a rib tickler. Swung away. Short side of the boundary, goes all the way. Shot again, you can't do that. Into out. Glorious.
And this shot here had class written all over it.
Oh, another good over.
They took the attack to him.
Beaten. He was beaten in flight, but he's deposited it over mid-wicket.
Deceived him.
Oh, swung away. And this time, was deep square leg. 2 sixes to finish the over. 135 for no loss.
And we close off tonight's sports report with football. The under-20 men's football team takes center field from Friday to Sunday in the Dominican Republic. 19 teams split into 3 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4 will vie for a chance to the round of 16 of the 2022 CONCACAF's Men Under-20 Championships.
Now the U20 men take center field in the Dominican Republic with the start of the CONCACAF U20 men qualifiers from Friday, November 5th to Sunday, 14th November in Santo Domingo. 19 teams split into 3 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4 will vie for a chance to advance to the round of 16 of the 2022 CONCACAF Men's U20 Championship, scheduled to be played next summer. Match day 1 on Friday will see play in groups A and B, with Grenada squaring off against Saint Martin and Curacao and the BVI in Group A, while St. Lucia and Saint Martin and host Dominican Republic and Anguilla face off in Group B.
So far, the under-20 team have played 2 friendly matches as a lead-up to the tournament. They drew 1 and won the other. And that's how we end tonight's sports report. Stay with us. Regional and international news are up next. tonight's One Caribbean hookup, we start in the Southern Caribbean, where the medical fraternity in Guyana is shocked at the killing of a well-known doctor. Dr. Colin Roach was found dead at his Kingston office earlier this week. We get more in this report from Amel Griffith.
Crime sleuths are hoping that within the next 24 hours, they will be able to find who murdered well-known clinical physician Dr. Colin Roach at his Kingston office on Tuesday night. According to the police, the 49-year-old father of 3 was found lying in a pool of blood in his office by one of his employees who lives in the same building. Police have told the press that 2 workers reported that the office was closed around 15 hours on Tuesday and they left for home. They claim that sometime around 20 hours, a male was seen exiting the building before returning about 7 minutes later and re-entering the clinic. 2 hours later, according to the police, the doctor's vehicle left the location, but the lights in the office were left on, which prompted one of his employees to call him. That employee said he got no response. The employee, who reportedly lives in the same building, was contacted and he used his keys to enter the building and he found the doctor dead, lying in a pool of blood. Police were contacted and they have launched an investigation into Dr. Roach's murder. Dr. Roach was a former chairman of the National Sports Commission and one of the approved doctors the United States Embassy uses. He was also one of the first directors of the National Reference Laboratory. The body is presently lying at the Memorial Gardens mortuary awaiting an autopsy. Reporting for the HGB Nightly News, Amel Griffith.
Meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda has been receiving significant interest at Expo 2020 in Dubai, with a major milestone being reached regarding visits to the Twin Island States Pavilion. The announcement comes as the island hosted its National Day at the Expo on Independence Day Monday. Let's get the details in this report.
Expo 2020 opened in Dubai in the United Arab Emirates October 1. The event has afforded the country a major opportunity to showcase its tourism product.
This is my island in the sun. No one can party like we.
Tourism Minister, the Honorable Charles Fernandez, says the country was able to bring its independence celebrations to an entirely new audience.
As Antigua and Barbuda proudly celebrates our Ruby anniversary, 40 years of political independence, it is an honor to mark such a momentous occasion with each one of you. To celebrate our sovereignty in a nation built on the principles of inclusion is rightly fitting.
The country's pavilion seeks to highlight its role as a regional travel and shipping hub, while also marketing its attractive tourism product.
Antigua and Barbuda has been a shining example in the region of how a small island nation with a passion for preserving the environment can work with local and international organizations towards a more sustainable future.
Antigua and Barbuda's pavilion features carnival costumes, the national dress and other culturally significant items. So far, 100,000 people have had the opportunity to view it. This is the first expo where all 192 participating countries have their own unique pavilions. Dubai Expo 2020 ends March 31, 2022. Rakib Aparicio reporting for ABS News.
Moving internationally, Nepal is struggling to rebuild in the aftermath of catastrophic natural disasters in recent months. Hundreds of people have died in flooding and landslides triggered by monsoon rains in June, August, and October. Climate scientists warn conditions are worsening across the Himalayan region and are unprecedented. Nepalis in rural communities are frustrated and say what is happening to them is not their fault, and countries like Nepal should be left alone to put out fires being fueled on a global scale.
In one of the poorest and most polluted countries in the world, everyone is saying the same thing. Climate disasters with intensity that has never been seen before are piling up, faster than ever. Nepal's cascade of crises began in February with country-wide forest fires that blackened the skies. Mountain glaciers began melting faster, meaning more runoff. Then came intense rains and floods in June, August, and October. Now, from all that water, a higher rate of landslides, blocking mountain passes faster than road crews can clear them. Throughout it all, ongoing man-made soil erosion to meet the demand for building materials. Climate scientists warn conditions are worsening across the Himalayan region and are unprecedented. Toppled and buried buildings dot the Himalayan foothills, ominous reminders of what happened here.
Multiple floods this year have dumped an immeasurable amount of earth and mud and sand and silt and rocks and large boulders in valleys all across this area. And just to give you a sense of how deep this debris field is, where I'm standing right now, I'm standing on the roof of what's left of someone's home.
In the town of Malamchi, questions of public
international news. Stay with us. A recap of the headlines is next. And now let's take a look at what made the news tonight. COVID-19 regulations change sees curfew shifted from 9 p.m. to midnight. The Royal Grenada Police Force awards local heroes. Senator Andre Lewis wants a 10 to 15% cut in cost to reduce customers' electricity bill. Regionally, the medical fraternity in Guyana is shocked at the killing of a well-known doctor. Internationally, Nepal struggles to rebuild after natural disasters triggered by climate change. In sports, defending champs West Indies eliminated from T20 World Cup after Sri Lanka defeat today, while the under-20 men's football team prepares to take center field this weekend. That's the end of the GBN Nightly News for Thursday, November 4th, 2021. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh, wishing you an enjoyable Thursday night.